Was the best guy around.
What about the people he murdered?
What murder?
Welcome back to the Hishaku Hideout, a weekly podcast where we talk about the latest chapter in everything Kagurabachi. I'm here with Dice.
Yo.
And today we're getting into chapter 107, and we're a bit late, but it's cool. At least we showed up. That's all that matters. And the most important thing I just want to start with: in the realm where the sword master presides, simply unsheathing the sword continually sucks the life out of anyone in the vicinity. Where that true realm at? I'm unsheathing.
I hear them hands, bro. I hear those hands.
Hey, it sucked the soul out you.
You freaky.
Bro.
You freaky boy.
That's him.
With one stroke, huh? Just one stroke?
One stroke, man. I'm just saying, bro.
There definitely
I ain't
is.
gay, but an enchanted blade wielder's an enchanted blade wielder. You know what I'm saying? The truest round. All right, let me
the truest round.
True and real realm. It's late, and me and Dice are on one.
We know how these
I'm
late
just bringing
episodes
Dice down
go.
with me.
Oh man.
But banger chapter. Sorry we're a little late this week, but hey, it be like that. Life be lifing. You know, I'm incinerating my life force into this pod right now. There's black sparks everywhere.
You farting black sparks, huh?
That's it, bro.
Yeah, how about that, huh?
Back shots. Oh yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. I don't know how deep Hokuzono's gonna go on that. I don't know. I don't want to spend too much time on that personally, just because the chapter has a lot to it with the Magatsumi. But you know, it seems because the Magatsumi is like, you know, drawing life and using others' life to power itself. It's you know, that's why it's like that thick, heavy black spirit energy manifestations we see. It's pretty crazy, you know, like Yura's introduction. You know, that first like little skirmish with Chihiro is just a foreshadowing for the Magatsumi, like most things in Kagurabachi.
Yeah, it's wild how Hokuzono manages to set up these things and make them relevant in like a whole different context a bunch of chapters later. It's not like the first time he's done that. And like you, I'm also interested in how deep we'll go on this, because it's definitely like pretty big that Chihiro seems to have done this unknowingly. And this is the type of thing that Hokuzono could really expand on, even kind of mix it in with the true realm to kind of really push its possibilities. This is something that by the word, you know, by the words specifically, it seems like anybody with spirit energy, if they're, you know, capable enough, can pull it off. So yeah, it's, you know, interesting to see if there will be more to come on this. I think so, but it could also be something that, like you said, could mainly have been to kind of hype up the Magatsumi and that whole thing. But yeah, I think we'll definitely see it happen again, and probably Chihiro will do it on a bigger scale, I'm thinking. But we'll see. Like you said, there's a lot to get into. Is like the Magatsumi thing. There's a lot here.
I mean, I could even imagine someone like Hirohiko tapping in, like, and he's pushed to the brink, and he's forced to do something like this with the Kumiyuri later in the story or something like that. That would be crazy to see. You know, yeah, he gets like a lot of like Mahito kind of comparisons and stuff sometimes. So, and we know Mahito's like the curse that landed a Black Flash. So it would be crazy if Hirohiko has that kind of like, you know, parallel.
Yeah, no, for sure. And like Hokuzono has done that type of thing before. Like we saw Sojo pull off remote activation. Chihiro did it afterwards, right? And like Hirohiko has been set up to be like that rival to Chihiro. So I would not be really surprised at all if we see him pull some of the stuff that Chihiro is kind of tapping into right now. That would be interesting to see for sure.
Yeah, and you know, I think with like, let's just say that boy Kunishige, he was motherfucker on the money about who to select for this blade. Like,
what you mean about that?
Like so good. That boy is so
I know.
good. I don't think there's a more. That was like a spot on like draft grade S. This dude, you know. And I think the first page is kind of telling, because it says, it is the enchanted blade crafted to kill enemies. So I think that makes me think that, because there's like theories that what if the Magatsumi was first, but then it was just on the battlefield last and made its appearance last. But that makes me think that we know that they were at a standstill with the first 5 blades. So it makes sense for the last blade, like Kunishige, to realize, oh, there's no certain victory here, even with the 5 blades, support blades. I need something that's actually gonna get rid of the enemy, and that's why he didn't maybe not wanted to create a blade with a function like this, but it came to the point where he had to.
Yeah, I can totally see that. I mean, I think, that the way it's phrased kind of seriously implies that. I used to be of the mind of that, like the enchanted blades were all crafted to kind of slaughter during times of war, but I think this specifies that the Magatsumi is different, and it's because unlike the other blades, this one was really crafted to kill. So yeah, I kind of like I now have like a bit of a different perspective on this whole thing, and I can't help but wonder if that's why the Magatsumi is so powerful, because it was literally just crafted to kill. Because right before we see that text box, it says, thus the force that commands it is darker and more powerful. I wonder if that force is simply, I mean, it could be right, the Soga's ideals and, the merging between synchronization between the user and the blade, but because we're specifically talking about the blade here before it addresses kind of the Soga's true realm, I do wonder if that's where this is coming from. If it's all because of Kunishige's intention when forging the blade, because again, that would kind of add more weight to the blood on Kunishige's hands if the Magatsumi is this powerful, not because it was something specific in the Datsenseki compared to the other blades, but because the intention was simply to kill. It's gonna be very, I say this a lot, but it's gonna be very interesting to see.
I would definitely say because its function is to take lives.
Yeah.
That is definitely why it's the strongest, but I think that will also pair well down the line with it just staying true to what we know is the user forms the true realm, they they're the master of it. So I think I think Soga's just the I don't want to say the best fit for it because of what he did, but because of the blade's function and his conviction. Yeah. It's just what makes him the best user for it. And that also makes me think though that are we going to now look at the Magatsumi as in a certain time in the universe it was a necessary evil, because there's no guarantee they would have won the war without it, but because of it also made Kunishige seal up the other enchanted blades. So if they could have won the war without the crafting of the Magatsumi, Kunishige may have never sealed the other enchanted blades, most likely. That would mean Yura would have got the world that he envisioned what it was going to be like. You know what I'm saying? The enchanted blades would have been used in society for good. But because of the crimes of the Magatsumi, he felt like he had to seal it up.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I guess the only thing I would say is that's the whole thing, right? I think it's been pretty explicit that they weren't gonna win the war without Magatsumi, and again, it's that's why there's so much weight behind Kunishige having forged that blade, because at least by what we've been told, right? We know how this works in Kagurabachi. We could get a whole nother angle to the story in a couple of chapters that completely dispels that as a lie or whatever, but we were told that they were not going to win the war if it wasn't for the Magatsumi. At least it's heavily implied, right? So, but I completely agree with you. It is, because I hadn't looked at it like that. The Magatsumi was also it not only won them the war, but at the same time it undid, or not undid, but it kind of sealed any any possibility of a future with the blades, like you said, present in the world, used for good. So that is very interesting to think about. And I also think you're on the money, because I agree in regards to like Soga being like the perfect, just having like 100% synchronization with his blade, just being like essentially like they're one, you know. And it's kind of like the same thing we see with Chihiro and Enten, and we'll talk more about that like towards the end of this discussion, because this chapter also like touches on that, right? But yeah, I completely agree. And you know, we see, right, like, so, you know, next page we see how like we saw this in the last chapter as well, but in the text box we get confirmation that like just being near the Magatsumi, you have like your life, you know, drained, and if it wasn't for Samura Suzaku, they would be dead. So I think that in itself is pretty crazy and adds a lot to like this whole fight. Like, we like to clown on Samura and all that, but it looks like Hokuzono isn't done. You know, we got we'll talk about what else happens in this chapter. Yeah. But I do like how like even until like what seems to be like his last moment, Samura is just giving it all and actually, you know, caring, really. Like, let's be honest, if it wasn't for Suzaku, they'd be dead. So yeah, I just think it's really fucking cool. This is a huge fight, man.
Yeah, and you know, there's one thing about like the creation of the Magatsumi. I don't know, I'm sure people have talked about it, but the possibility of, since Soga was like Kunishige's right-hand man, Soga may have been the one that was kind of in his ear, like, man, you need to create a blade that's made for killing. We'll never get anywhere with just these support blades. And he's the one who's like, dude, come on, you know me. Remember that time? Yeah, like, you knocked out my sister. You owe me, bruh. Like, but
that's wild.
You know, because they say he's his right-hand man. So, like,
yeah.
They had to have, like, be close. So he's just telling them, and maybe Shiba is, like, maybe on the other side on the other ear going,
you got the angel and the devil,
yeah, like, it could be very well that, you know, that could very well be the case, because, you know, we don't know what Soga and Kunishige's, like, companionship was like, but we know what Kunishige and Shiba's was.
Yeah.
You know, it's, like, very light, brotherly. But when we see Soga in a flashback with Kunishige acting brotherly, like, we would trust Shiba's word if he was giving word to Kunishige, you know, advice or whatever. Like, we would know it came from a good place. So him just saying, like, yo, just go cook one more time. but you know, switch up the recipe. Give it a different, like, different spice.
Come on, you know you want
to. And that motherfucker did. He came out 5-star chef. Motherfucker, he Hell's Kitchen, you bet.
No, I mean, you cooking, man.
Yeah, like, I really am looking forward to seeing, like, the first flashback panel of Soga and Kunishige, like,
yeah, man,
talking. That is gonna move mountains. But back to the chapter. Before I get to like theories and shit, I think it's insane how Soga's like, Mr. Samura, from where you stand, what is the radius of the area that has been evacuated? So 250 meters. And he's like, that's our battlefield. If you go outside, unalive yourself. Which is insane. So he doesn't want to include citizens. You know, which, like we said, like a strong sense of justice, which I think is pretty valid. And I'm looking forward to the moment where he is around, like, the Japanese citizens, like, without a fight going on. You know what I mean? Like, after this is over, he just Aura farms in public, and they're all like, oh my god, it's the guy from the statue. Why's he got those black glasses on? They look like Samura's.
I just kind of caught on to the fact that he calls him Mr. Samura, despite being like a clear superior to him in his sword skills.
Superior.
I mean, I'm sure
he could have been. He could have been like, "Hey, bitch, what's the radius?"
I'm saying
you've been evacuated.
I'm saying. I mean, this also
And
adds.
spit on him.
This also adds to his character, right? Because you made you did a good job of talking before about like how he's really charismatic and he like has this likable demeanor in a lot of ways, and I can't help but like think this is part of it. I mean, this could also just mean that he's
I might
younger
just be
than
a psychopath, bro.
yeah, I mean that too, right? But this could also just mean that he's younger than him, or at least just respects him, right? Like we know how this kind of thing works, right? So, yeah, it is very cool that he respects him to the degree that he does, because he doesn't call him Mr. Samura once. He does it again later on when he's looking over him. So yeah, some nice characterization from Soga's part.
Yeah, I mean, right after that nice characterization, we get a nice ass whooping that he delivers to them too. Like, Lord,
right.
He just like at blinding speed, just like cuts through like, Chihiro's torso, and then we get the glaze and that spread. Without augmentation, his base speed rivals Mr. Samura's. Why is the narrator calling him Mr. Samura, by the way?
I'm thinking that's Chihiro's thoughts. Yeah.
With the Shinuuchi activated, it's too much to contend with. And he's like, I warned you. And I love like Hokuzono, that panel where he says, I warned you. We get that. Hokuzono is so good about like the pacing of fights and the paneling, because it's just that one like little quick dashing box.
Yes,
when Samura
bro.
like goes to attack him and his eyes just turn to look at him. It's like you could feel the like the tension. He's like, you first.
Yeah.
And just cuts his hand off.
Yeah, dude. And like the quickness of the moment, like that little small panel just really conveys how much of a like a minute moment it is, right? Like you said, he just looks to him and like he's immediately reacting. And like before even Samura has like a chance to do anything, again, more of like Soga's little I don't even want to say banter, but just again the way he talks, the way he is, you first. This seems to be just like a game for him. I mean, like we know he's not playing games. Yeah, we know he's not playing games, but for him, this very much is still light work. Like he's not stressing.
Life is a game, bro. When you can take life that easy, life is a game.
Yeah, and like just compare like Soga's little like that little panel that we were just talking about, his eye, and then on the other page look at Samura's. Look at like the discrepancy, bro. Like yeah, that difference, right? And this is the top two.
Like,
we were the top two sword bearers, right? And look at the gap.
Nah, Hibiki top one.
Chill, bro. Get the fuck out of here with that, man.
It wouldn't happen if he had lightning cloaked around him. Nah, Samura, they're definitely top two. But yeah, I do like the comparison between like when Samura's like trying to press the blindside Soga and press him. Like Soga's chilling, he just like looks over, yawns, reads the paper, slashes his hand off. And then when fucking Soga's like jetting towards Samura's like, it's like chaotic. His eyes are like so much emotion conveyed through the eyes.
Stressing, bro. He's stressing.
Knocks him through a building. This is crazy. Like we see like the "My blade can take your life" callback from last chapter.
Yeah.
And I love like his like Samura's like logical, or I mean when you're faced with this, I mean you're fighting for your life. So Samura just like basically creates like a domain of fire where they're just like they're clashing with each other in the flames. And now mind you, this motherfucker's on fire competing with like the fastest sword up to this point. Oh, 1 second.
You're good.
What's up, little baby? Oh, you gotta go to bed? Oh, well, all right, good. Ugh. No, my bad. But the like them like just like fight like squaring up in the fiery like floor in the building they're in. Sorry about that. Yeah, I thought that part was so gas, bruh.
Dude, yeah, it is. It's just because, like, the way Hokuzono just cooks, like, with that art, just blew me away. I hope we get to see more of it. I know it is just like that fire effect, like them burning, but we see it like later on in that single page, that full page. It's just crazy the way that looks. Before like I get like into that, I do want to say that like what makes that whole moment that you just brought up about Samura better is like the stakes. Like Samura is well aware that like Suzaku can just barely neutralize the Magatsumi's ability of draining life. So he's aware that he doesn't have enough to like fight the Magatsumi and completely heal himself. So it seems like he does this like I don't want to say like a final effort, like a last kind of play type thing, but it does seem like he really amps it up because Soga like straight up addresses it like, oh, you know, you think that with your maximum firepower, you know, so he's clearly going all out, and it's like, you think you can burn me and heal yourself? Like now he's starting to talk his shit.
Fire.
Yeah, and he's actually burning, right?
He's saying it. He's like, this ain't shit, bro.
Dude, he's actually talking his shit now. And like, yeah, we get the confirmation.
And he's asking, how long can you hold out? This motherfucker created the fire, bro.
Imagine that, bro. Imagine that. Imagine like thinking you have like your fucking enemy trapped, that he's talking his shit while you're actively like using your ability. Like he's actually on fire, like you said. Oh man. And again,
I mean, the best. My bad, bro. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, add to that, the fact that we get, which is, I think is what you were about to say, that we get the confirmation about like him, like it being said that the other 5 bears, or the other 4 bears, I'm sorry, didn't actually, the other 5, I'm sorry, yeah. They didn't beat him, right? Like he gave himself up once the malediction was done, which is like, a lot of people already theorized that, but like getting that confirmation just adds like so much to the whole thing.
Y'all sit there. He's like, y'all sit there and try and survive as best as y'all can while I finish complete this mission.
Yeah, bro.
Crazy. And you actually were wrong. I was going to bring up the fact that we see Ibiki Masaka. That's the best part.
Fuck out of here, bro.
No. Ibiki. Fuck no, baby. Malediction. Talking about Ibiki.
Get out of here with that, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I think this chapter does bring a lot of like, it just kind of nails home things that were, you know, like kind of agreed upon in the fandom, or things that seemed more likely. You know, it just kind of like reconfirmed a lot of that stuff. And I love Chihiro's just like trying his best not to turn into like a vase.
Bro, Chihiro's like just fucking lying there.
Yeah, bro. But hey, he my boy built different too.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
And I do, hey man, leave my boy alone. You gonna see next chapter. I do like those Samura's like, we can't kill Akamura, not with his internal contract. So he's even saying like, killing Akamura is still off the table here. You know,
they're well aware.
I mean, but like, my thing is, bruh, do you not see he's talking shit to you in your own domain of fire, bruh? Now it's not, bro. Like now is the time for like, you go back to your old conviction, homie. Like now maybe go back. Undo what Chihiro
blind yourself again, bro.
Yeah, blind yourself instead of KYS. Blind yourself.
Yeah, blind yourself.
But no, I
bro.
mean obviously that's like Samura's character, you know, like finding opening his eyes to possible futures and all that. I get that. Yeah. But it's just crazy. Like that'd be the last thing on my mind. Like we gotta stop this dude any possible way. Like.
Yeah, I mean, he knows,
like
man.
That just kind of brings home his character.
Yeah, but he knows, bro. He knows he's not built like that.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, this really ain't it. I mean, he's still only got one arm, right? And he's like got a clash with him with one arm, and
yeah.
And he's just trying to cook Soga with his maximum firepower while, you know, waving that one arm. Or I mean, I can't tell if he healed his other arm. It doesn't look like it. I think I see
it doesn't look like it
dangling in the wind.
Yeah, it's crazy. He lost the hand, healed it, and then lost his arm, which I think is something you told me before we started recording. I think that's fucking wild, bro. Yeah. I don't really remember if you told me that, but I think you said something like that. But I just think it's funny.
I don't think he healed it. I think he lost his hand, and then that motherfucker lost his arm after that.
But see, it's. It's a different arm.
He got his right
exactly.
hand. Yeah, his right hand.
Exactly.
Yeah, so then he heals it. And he's like, bruh, stop growing them bitches back.
I told you I can get you with just one stroke, bro.
Bro, one stroke, man. Take that life out you, boy.
Suck that life out you.
You truly are spectacular. Boy, that stroke. With one stroke, drained all them kids. Jesus Christ.
And this is where like Hokuzono just
insane.
Yeah, this is where Hokuzono goes crazy with the art too.
Oh yeah, the scenery and all that. It's just pure chaos, like. And he says, like, when he says, "I hold the reins, I will purge this society." I think people are taking that like, I saw some people take it as like he's gonna kill everybody. I didn't take it like that.
No. Well, like the way I take it, like purge is just like he basically just means again like the whole thing about like rooting out
evil.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I saw a couple people say that, and I was like, bro, he just told them to kill it. I mean, he just told them to unalive themselves if they go outside the radius. If he really wanted to involve people, that'd be easy.
Yeah,
and I guess
exactly.
that's smart on Hokuzono now that we think about it, because giving a dude like this bloodthirst, like to civilians, is just, it would be too like hard to like execute that.
Yeah, it would also take away from like the character that's being built up here, right? Like we already know that he is already pretty bloodthirsty in terms of like we saw that he's willing to kill Hakuri just because he comes from a lineage that he believes is evil or whatever. So he's already kind of like bloodthirsty, but there's nuance to the whole thing, right? There's some very firm ideals, and if that goes out the window, if that goes out the window, exactly. So like if there's nothing to that, then what are we doing here? He just like becomes this like one-dimensional, just boring character if he's willing to just kill anybody in sight. It would be interesting to see how far how this ideal develops, right? Because we know that this is like a slippery slope when it comes to like, oh, well, this is evil, you're evil, that is evil. Like who deems what is evil, right? That's a whole nother conversation. But I do wonder if we're gonna see that kind of like evolution in Soga's mindset, if he goes from thinking like, oh, X kind of people should be cold to like, I just wonder how that could evolve, if it evolves at all, right? That could probably not happen, or it could just not happen, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I want to see, so like my thing with Soga is I want to see the before the Magatsumi.
Oh yeah.
I don't think we're gonna see much of a difference, honestly. I think he's gonna definitely he's gonna have some questionable things to say about the Shikoku natives, I would bet. But, you know what I mean? But it's like he's still gonna be the same, like his same, like how he talks and how he interacts with people, because that charismatic personality is gonna come through. Or maybe it's just gonna shine a little brighter because it's not like, his other side of him is like kind of brought to the surface, or an extreme version of it maybe.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm more interested in like, these flashbacks about, like you said, Kunishige and Soga's relationship, the Seitei War, of course, more than I would be interested in seeing like any sort of like evolution in terms of Soga's ideals. That's not really like crucial to his character. It was more like of an interesting thing, right? Because like we know that Chihiro is a good person, right? But just because he stands in his way, Soga's willing to kind of put the X on him. And so like eventually, if you're willing to do that to everybody that stands in your way, there's nobody else left, right? So these are the people you're supposedly trying to save. So this is like, that's where I'm coming from in terms of like that sort of thing. But I agree, man. I am 1,000%, like way more interested and invested in like what led up to this. How different was he, if even like at all? Because like I think there's like this possibility that like Samura said, yeah, the war changed him, but like in essence he was always the same. Like he might, like you said, he might have been in Kunishige's ear. He might have been like this kind of a happy trigger guy, you know, or trigger happy guy. So yeah, I'm way more interested in that flashback as well, man. Hopefully we get that shit.
Oh, I'm sure. I love that, you know, Hokuzono's playing with me with this blind man laying on his deathbed right in front of my eyes. And if I gotta be real, like I say, objectively, Samura's top 3, you know, written, you know, best written character. But hey, man, subjectivity wise, I gotta say, I'm looking at him slit open. And Hokuzono's just playing with me, bro. He just doesn't want to end it. It's like right there. Like, just take another step, bro.
It's like fucking pierce his heart, bro. Right there. Hit him with the good old Kunishige special, bro. Just right through the heart.
Yeah. Uraha his ass.
Exactly.
But don't bring him back.
Exactly. Oh, that would be cool, bro. If he literally kills him exactly like he killed Uruha. It might not happen with Chihiro kind of, you know, entering the scene. But
don't remind me,
bro. Yeah, like I'm with you, bro. It seems like Hokuzono's like, we've been talking about how like his death seemed so inevitable, just so obvious, that I do wonder if Hokuzono's just come. Yeah, I do wonder if he's just dangling that shit in front of us, just knowing that he set it up, like he set him up so well as a tragic character that I do wonder if he's just kind of gonna like subvert the whole thing. The way it's looking, I think there's a good chance that Samura just leaves this fight on like a wheelchair or something, you know, like just not being able to like do his thing really, but potentially not dead. Shit, that's not what I want, right? I say fucking give him a warrior's death.
At the end, the narrator's gonna be like, and Samura lived to be 105. And be like, fuck. Samura was there for Chihiro's funeral. And
imagine,
like,
bro.
He's like Yuji. He's Yuji.
Outlives everybody, bro. I would fucking die, bro. But yeah, Hokuzono's playing with us for sure. The scene is crazy, bro. Just the floating shit all around. The fucking, obviously the plants, right? The whole Magatsumi, you know, everything, bro. It's Samura's just lying dead, just fucking not dead, right? But
inevitable. Well, not inevitable death, but possible death coming towards him.
Yeah, not fingers crossed. Death, scenes is crazy.
But shout out to. It's funny that boy said, "Watch from there." As he tries to like. Spider web on Chihiro, and Chihiro's just like, what? And just keep like, these boots are made for walking, bruh.
I gotta say, that's to me. I mean, obviously the art, like I said, with like when they're burning and shit, like that is like peak shit. But personally, for me, man, the way like Chihiro just walks out of the spider, I think it's like the most hype moment of the chapter for me, man. Cause it's just so clean, and you know me, like, you know, I have no problem
like
kind of being
pause.
Yeah, and like, you know, I have no problem being critical of Chihiro, right? Like, I've done it before, but I'm also like, I have no problem like praising him. And to me, this moment is just really well executed. When you see the panel, the first panel of him standing over the spider, obviously the panel like is right next to it, right? But you just know what's coming. And this sort of thing has been seen before in like fiction, right? Like the way he just subtly steps out of it. It's so cold, bro. It's just so cold, man. I gotta say, like, I really like that. I really just enjoyed how that whole moment was executed for sure.
Yeah, it's almost an Ibiki level aura moment.
Chill the fuck out, bro. Stop it with the Ibiki mentions. Jesus, bro.
Someone's gotta keep him alive, bro. Natsuki getting extra volume, extra drawings and shit.
Yeah, that's what's up, though.
Masaka. The bum Masaka, brother.
I'm telling you, bro. Not even Hokuzono fucks with
Nishiki. I know, bro. She's too much aura to like keep drawing. Hokuzono's pen would start glittering black if he tried.
Okay. Okay, man.
But you know, we see Chihiro opening up the true realm, synchronizing deeper. Now Nishiki is amazing, just as Kunishige said. As the Magatsumi takes life, Nishiki protects life.
Yeah.
Gas.
Yeah.
And he even catches like Soga. Like Soga's looking like he Maybe, he's dropping a Soga in his pants in that last page.
Yeah, I mean, Soga, like, we see the exclamation marks, so it does seem like he's definitely caught off guard, surprised, whatever you want to call it. And even in the double spread before that, Soga's expression and the way he's kind of tilting his sword, obviously we know what Nishiki does to Chihiro's body and the way it amps him. And it seems like with the True Realm stacked on top of it, it seems like it's just enough to maybe not, I don't want to say contend with Soga, but enough to surprise him at least. And the way it seems like he's kind of deflecting that attack, seems like he was barely able to do it, right? So again, I'm not saying that Nishiki amped Chihiro's matching his speed or whatever. I'm sure Soga's about to pull some crazy shit, but I do like that we're seeing kind of Chihiro starting to close that gap. I say that
happen.
What?
Soga's about to put that goddamn second hand on that sword and go to real work. That's what's about to fucking happen, bro.
Yeah.
Soga's only been using like one hand. He's about to grab that goddamn sword and with two hands and Kenpachi Saraki the block.
Yeah, that's a good point for sure. We said Soga is not really like going hard yet, so this might be what like gets him to go hard, right? Like to really I don't know if go all out, but he's definitely gonna lock in now, because we've talked about this, and this has been like common knowledge all around like the community. But the way Enten was specifically designed not just to destroy the blades, but to counter Magatsumi. We talked about this when like Soga was introduced, in the recent chapters. And the way he kind of looked at Enten and wondered why Kunishige did what he did, and then he looked at Chihiro. I think this is where we're going to see Soga really kind of be annoyed by Chihiro's presence and the creation of Enten. And this is where I think we're really going to see like this sort of like him feeling really like disrespected and slighted, right? And like taking it personal. This whole thing has been like...
It obstructs his justice.
Exactly. For Yura, the whole thing was business, right? We kind of talked about the differences between Yura and Soga. And like for Soga, we know that it was all rooted in his ideals, but I think there's a difference between that and it being personal, right? And I think with Chihiro, we're about to see like a more personal, reaction from him. So I'm looking forward to that.
What this tells me, or at least this is my opinion,
okay,
with this like new like Nishiki can basically negate the malediction, that's sucking the life out you.
Yeah,
don't sign me up for that. But this tells me that Hiyuki or someone's about to come join the battle, and he's gonna coat them with Nishiki. So because this doesn't change that much, we know Soga's like not going all out, and he was already dicking Samura and Chihiro.
Yeah.
Even Chihiro, if he gets like a further amp, he's still leagues away from Soga. He can just now contend with him without having to worry about his vitality getting taken from him. So he has to get like a fighting force to come in with him, to like help fight or help just like get Chihiro enough to get space away to where they can escape or something. Something has to happen on that front. Or at least that's my opinion, because I don't see how this changes anything in terms of the fight.
Yeah, that's a very good point, because I agree with that. I know I said that it was cool to see Chihiro starting to close that gap, but we know that he was leagues away from Samura, right? So like,
at least now he can contend.
Yeah, exactly, or at least pose some sort of threat by, like you said, negating Magatsumi's abilities. And again, stack the True Realm on top of that, and the possibilities could be endless, right? Like you said, he could very like well coat a person like joining him in battle, like that whole kind of like Nine Tails sort of thing. Spoilers, sorry, not sorry. But yeah, and I do agree. I think Hiyuki, if I had to say, I don't think it's gonna be Shiba. Definitely not. I think Hiyuki is the very likely candidate to pull up, man. Cause yeah, we saw that with Yura, and we know that Soga has kind of stepped up as a replacement for Yura. Hiyuki the story has kind of put her away, and this would be the perfect moment. Like I think you're cooking, and I'm sure other people think that this is the moment to bring Hiyuki back too, and possibly expand on the flame bone of the starving. So you know what, I'm down for that. Let's hope we get a Hiyuki pull up next chapter, and if that's the case, I can definitely see Chihiro using the True Realm to coat her with Nishiki.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Hiyuki has a big thing about justice too.
Yeah, dude, it would bang, bro. It would, like, I'm saying,
ideal of justice.
It would bang, bro. Like,
because her whole thing is seeing like evil in the Rakuzaichi.
Yeah.
And his whole thing he wanted to get rid of the Rakuzaichi. Or what if she just pops in and he's like, she smells like a Shikoku native.
Yo, oh my god. Oh
Imagine
my god, bro. Oh my god, bro. I'm down, man. I'm down for that. Like,
that sounded so bad, but I did not mean it to sound that bad. Like, from the perspective of Soga, god damn, I'm about to get canceled.
No, but you're cooking, cause I know what you're saying. The people know what you're saying, but
we're both gonna get canceled. But that would be a crazy reveal like that. He's just like, ugh. He's kind of like Rika with Tsurugi. Ugh.
Yeah, dude, and like, fuck, I lost my train of thought. What was I gonna say?
Ibiki Misaka?
No, stop.
I'm just playing, bro.
Oh fuck! It was gonna. Oh yeah, I was just gonna say that, like, we know how much of a break speed like the pace of Kagurabachi, right? Like this like insane pacing we were talking about before we started recording, how like things were looking just 15 chapters ago, right? So like bringing in Hiyuki and giving us a whole lore dump about her potentially being from Shikoku and the flame bone of the starving, what it really might be, and its possible connections to I don't know if Datsenseki, but that whole thing. I wouldn't be surprised if Hokuzono brings her in and just drops all that shit on us in the middle of this whole thing. It would be very in line with the way he's handled things before, I think.
Yeah. I don't have a whole lot of stocks in that, but I do think I would be down for that kind of reveal. I mean, I made a video about her being a possible like princess of Shikoku. I mean, that was like kind of a crackpot theory video, but maybe like Flame Bone is actually the thing to give Kunishige the idea to create his own like enchanted blade, like someone made that, and that was like the the precursor to the enchanted blades. He basically perfected that formula.
Yeah.
Or something along those lines. Or they just come in and Hiyuki's like, yeah, there's a thing as justice, but she's like there to like contradict what his opinion on justice is, even though he got rid of the very same thing. Well, I say he got rid of, but like the usage of the Magatsumi is what got rid of the Rakuzaichi, destroyed it. So technically he could be like, that was me, homie. I got rid of the Rakuzaichi. Didn't you want the Rakuzaichi gone? That was me, homie. I mean, of course that kind of dialogue, I don't know, like that would be interesting just to see, just a battle of like justices, because
I agree, dude.
Stands on more like the true justice, but on the lawful side, more lawful side of it, where he's more chaotic.
Oh, dude, yeah, like it's a big part of why I'm like, I would like to see Hiyuki pull up. It's not just like the fighting aspect of the thing of things, but like the narrative aspect, and like this whole conversation on, like you said, like justice and what is right versus what is wrong. How do you deal with evil? What is evil? Who gets to decide that? Like that whole thing. And we haven't, like, I know there's been a little bit of back and forth between Soga and Chihiro, but like adding Hiyuki to this whole thing would definitely be really cool, because we've seen those interactions between Chihiro and Hiyuki and those conversations of justice. So like with Soga as opposition, I would be interested to see how like that conversation looks between the three, but also like a conversation between Chihiro and Hiyuki post this fight. Like would Hiyuki kind of start like, I don't want to say like questioning, right? Like I know she wouldn't like think that Soga's right, but like again, this is like there's shades of gray to this shit, right? Like this isn't black or white. You know, good and bad and evil, like these things aren't black or white. So I do wonder if like Soga will raise questions that we see Hiyuki and Chihiro later kind of like try to, you know, navigate through, right? And how they're challenged in their ideals. So that's a big reason why I would like to see her. Like I said, it's not just the fighting.
And she's bae.
Yeah, for sure.
There's always that.
Yeah.
Hiyuki is Pookie.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's really it for the chapter, though. I mean, I know there's a lot of weight in this chapter. Good chapter, very, very, a lot of substance. It's gonna be interesting to see where we go from here. But there's no chapter next week, unfortunately.
Yeah, man, there isn't. I hadn't realized. I'm about to incinerate my whole life force, bro.
I'm about to incinerate it. Hokuzono, drop it.
Yeah, but we'll see if we'll do something, you know, for next
maybe
week.
A stream or just a video, depending on how things go.
Yeah, we'll come up with something faux show.
But any last closing statements or thoughts, brother?
Like always, man. You know, excited to see what the people think of the chapter. Any theories, anything we might have missed. But no, it's really all for me. Banger chapter.
I feel the same. And hey, y'all, subscribe. I'm trying to hit 1K this year. Let's make it happen.
Yo, he's mad, y'all. I'm not trying to deal with this.
Yeah. Come on. We got that little subscribe button. But no,
for sure.
Appreciate y'all staying throughout the whole thing. As always, let us know in the comment section your thoughts, as Daisa just mentioned, theories, all that stuff. Sorry we dropped this one late. It'd be like that. Sorry guys, but you know we love this shit just like y'all, and if we could do it, if we could drop it right, you know, at 3 hours on Sunday, you know, 3 hours after the chapter drops on Sunday, we would love to do that, but it's not always in the cards.
Yeah, well, we do the best we can every single week, right?
But we here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but all right, everybody. Well, maybe next week, we don't know yet, but just look out for community posts. Peace.
Yep. Peace.